Hi, and welcome to the presentation of the Volcano Honors. I'm excited to present it. It's going to be fun to do it. My name is Elisa Bravo, and I'm an Adventure and Pathfinder Area Coordinator from the Southern England Conference. In order to receive this honor, please watch the whole presentation to the end. Submit the answer kit to your club director and make your 3D volcano erupt. Please take a picture or make a video. In this breakout, you'll be doing your volcano erupt at home or your backyard. Let's have fun making it. But before we start our presentation, please let's bow our heads and pray. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you so much for being with us today. Father, thank you for the technology, because through the technology, we can continue learning honors and we can be together as well. Please, Father, bless each one of us and help us to learn about the volcano honors. All of this we ask you in the name of Jesus. Amen. Let's start. What is volcanology? It's the study of volcanoes. Volcanologists are the people who study volcanoes. There are five types of volcanoes. The first one is composite. These volcanoes are typically tens of miles across and 10,000 or more feet in height. They have a moderately steep size and sometimes have small craters in their summits. Volcanologists call these astro or composite volcanoes because they consist of layers of solid lava flows mixed with layers of sand or grape-like volcanic rocks, called cinder or volcanic ash. The other type is cinder cone. These volcanoes consist almost entirely of loose, grainy cinders and almost no lava. They are small volcanoes, usually only about a mile across and up to about 1,000 feet high. They have very steep sides and usually have a small crater on top. The next one is shield volcano. This type of volcano can be hundreds of miles across and many tens of thousands of feet high. The individual islands of the state of Hawaii are simply large shield volcanoes. Who will know, right? Mauna Loa, a shield volcano on the Big Island of Hawaii, is the largest single mountain in the world, rising over 30 feet above the ocean floor and reaching almost 100 miles across its faces. Caldera. Calderas, which are simply circular depressions, are found on the summits of many volcanoes. Giant calderas are the largest of these. Huge craters up to many tens of miles across. Giant calderas form by collapse in gigantic eruptions that spew volcanic rocks out of hundreds of even thousand miles in all directions. Fissure. There is no central crater at all. Instead, giant cracks open in the ground and expel vast quantities of lava that spread far and wide to form huge pools that can cover almost everything around. When those pools of lava cool and solidify, the surface remains mostly flat. Since the source cracks are usually buried, they're often nothing volcano-like to see only the flat plain. This is the parts of the volcano that we have to learn. If we notice at the bottom, I'm gonna use my little arrow here and you're gonna see it. This is the parts of the volcano. Magma chamber. Look at this one. This is the coined pipe. And then we have here a branch pipe. And then we have the scale. This is the throat of the volcano. This is the dike, the side vent. This is the parasite cone. This is the flank. You notice, see the summit of the volcano here? This is the vent, and this is the crater. This is the lava flows. And when the start the volcano erupt, all the ashes clouds, look at that. See how the lava flows right here? So this is the parts of the volcano that we should know. So we're going to start learning about the types of lava. There are 5 types of lava. Pahoe flows. It's a lava flows with a smooth to rocky surface. Of flows, lava flow that has a jagged, blocky surface. Block lava. Lava having a surface of angular blocks associated with materials having andesitic and rhyolitic compositions. Pillow lava. Basaltic lava that solidifies in an underwater environment and develops a structure that resembles a pile of pillows. Pyroclastic materials. The volcanic rock ejected during an eruption. Pyroclastic includes ash, bombs, and blocks. Pahoe flows, a lava flow with a smooth and rocky surface. All flows, lava flow that has a jagged, blocky surface. Block lava having a surface of angular blocks associated with the materials having andesitic and rhyolitic compositions. Pillow lava. Basaltic lava that solidifies in an underwater environment and develops in a structure that resembles a pile of pillows. So this is for us to learn. Pyroclastic flow. A highly heated mixture, largely of ash and pumice fragments, traveling down the flanks of a volcano or along the surface of the ground. Let me show you something. I don't know if you have seen this, but this is, you know what it is? This is pumice. Some of us, we use it when you take a shower and you clean your feet and you make your feet very smooth. So this is a pumice rock, see? This is a pumice fragment and we haven't seen it. You probably can see it in Walmart or Dollar Tree. And this is, I'm gonna get it closer so you can see it. You probably, your mom or your sister has it. See, there's a pumice that comes from this is a pumice fragment, see? Lahar. Mud flows on the slopes of volcanoes that results when unstable layers of ash and debris become saturated and flow down slopes, usually flowing in stream channels. Magma. A body of molten rock found at depth, including any dissolved gases and crystals. Platons. A structure that results from the emplacement or crystallization of magma beneath Earth's surface. Hotspots. Areas of volcanism's high heat flow and crystals uplifting that are a few hundred kilometers across. How does volcano erupt? See, this is the theory, but you're gonna have the fun part at the end. So watch very well, okay? An eruption begins when the pressure on a magma chamber forces magma up through the conduit and out to the volcano vent. When the magma chamber has been completely filled, the type of eruption partly depends on the amount of gases and silica in the magma. The amount of silica determines how sticky level of its viscosity. The magma in water provides the explosive potentials of steam. Psst, psst, psst. Obstacles also influence the type of eruption. When the pipe is blocked by the stubble and accumulation of pumice, imagine that. See? The accumulation of pumice. This is a little small pumice, but that must be a big pumice. The pressures is in the pipe will build very high, resulting in explosion. Imagine this in a very high one, a huge one. When magma reaches Earth's surface, it is called lava. It may pour out in gentle streams called lava flows or erupt violently into the earth. Volcanoes are torn apart by the gas may be shot into the air with the lava. The rocks blocks out of the volcano are called pyroclastic rocks. The rocks fragments fall back to earth to many different shapes and sizes. There are four levels of volcano activity. Volcano activity is classified by how often a volcano erupts. A volcano may be active, intermittent, dormant, or extinct. Active volcanoes erupt constantly. Intermittent volcanoes erupt fairly regularly. Dormant volcanoes are inactive but not long enough to determine whether they will erupt again or not. Extinct volcanoes have been inactive since the beginning of recorded history. The Ring of Fire. It has more than 800 active volcanoes that have been identified, most areas located along the margins of the ocean basins, most notably along within the circum-Pacific belt known as the Ring of Fire. This active zone includes a chain of continental volcanoes that consists primarily of the composite volcanoes. So you can see, I'm going to use my arrow again, okay? See this? It looks like a ring of fire. Look at this. It says 800 active volcanoes. Hawaiian Islands. The Hawaiian Islands results from the movement of the Pacific plate over an apparently stationary hotspot. The island of Hawaii is still forming form from the uplifting of mantle plumes under the hotspot. The island of Hawaii is the youngest of the Hawaiian Islands. The eruption of the Mountain Helen. Mountain Helen is located in the southern Washington state, about 50 miles northeast of the Portland, Oregon. It is the Cascade Range of mountain. It was named in 1792 in honor of the Baron St. Helen, American Indian of the Pacific Northwest called Lawa Walla, Cloud, or Smoky Mountains. The volcano was active in the mid-1800s, but most people in the century did not see it as a menace. In fact, the mountain was snow-covered and very beautiful. The forest on it and around the bases was filled with wildfire. At the base of the volcano was a Spirit Lake, a clear mountain lake that was very good for fishing and boating in the spring of 1980s. Everything changed. First, there was a series of earthquakes, and then came one or maybe two thunderous explosions. Mount Helen began to spew forth ash and steam. Two craters formed on the volcano, and there were avalanches of snow, ice. darkened by ash. Over the next 2 months, the volcano continued to be active, simmering almost like a boiling on the stove. Then on May 18, 1980, the volcano suddenly erupted. Part of the volcano collapsed and became an ooze. The eruption caused 57 lives and many injuries. Many buildings were buried, and more than 200 houses and cabins were destroyed.
Almost 10,000 feet tall, Mount St. Helens is one of several active volcanoes in Washington's Cascades mountain range. By 1980, it hasn't erupted for over a century. But beneath its serene exterior, Mount St. Helens is beginning to stir. On March 27th, red-hot magma from deep within the volcano rises high enough to come into contact with icy meltwater.
No matter where you are on Earth, there's, beneath you somewhere, there's water. So if something hot comes up into that water, it heats it up. It can build up enough pressure that it finally just breaks through as an explosion, like a pressure cooker, you're just letting loose.
Most scientists expect that if the mountain does blow, it will be in a classic vertical eruption, affecting only a limited area close to the volcano. But the mountain could explode sideways in a lethal lateral eruption, devastating a much larger area. At 8:32 a.m. on May 18, 1980, they get their answer.
We are directly above Mount St. Helens now, and there is no question that the volcanic activity has started. Smoke.
A massive earthquake causes the huge bulge on the mountain to collapse, removing a mile-wide chunk of the north face. With an energy equivalent to 1,500 Hiroshima atom bombs, rock and superheated gas shoot from the volcano at terrifying speeds of up to 400 miles per hour. Such is the force of Mount St. Helens' lateral eruption that an incredible 1,300 feet of mountain disappears almost instantly. Now the eruption enters its next phase. Expanding magma inside the volcano sends thousands of tons of scorching rock and gas high into the atmosphere. A dense plume of ash stretches 15 miles high. The choking ash fills the air outside, turning the sky dark. Breathing becomes almost impossible. In the minutes after the eruption, 46 billion gallons of icy meltwater start to pour down the mountainside, gathering rock and debris to create a lethal slurry called a lahar. The deadly lahar becomes a massive tsunami of destruction. Scientists scramble into the air to get an overview of the unfolding disaster.
I was awed by what I was seeing. We could see this tremendous eruption column and all the energy that there must be in it.
Navigation is almost impossible. The ground below now bears no resemblance to any of their maps.
There were lots of fires burning. Within the cloud, there were mixtures of ash and rocks, older rocks from the volcano, and a lot of steam from melting glacial ice.
Mount St. Helens continues to erupt until late in the afternoon. Ashfall forced towns and cities up to 300 miles away into a state of emergency shutdown. In just over 2 weeks, the ash circled the entire globe. Officially the deadliest, most destructive volcanic eruption in U.S. history, the eruption ultimately claimed 57 lives.
Many tens of thousands of acres prime forests as well as recreational sites. Roads and trails were destroyed or heavily damaged. More than 185 miles of highway and roads destroyed or extensively damaged. 4 billion board feet of timber was damaged or destroyed, and many animals, including deer, elk, bears, were killed. Many small animals, such as Rodents, frogs, and crawfish managed to survive because they were below ground level or water surface. While the ash destroyed many crops in the area, the ash may provide beneficial chemicals, nutrients to the soil in the future. We found Bible verses that talks about volcanoes. For example, Psalms 104 verses 31 through 32, it says, "The glory of God, let it last forever. Let God enjoy his creation. He takes one look at earth and triggers an earthquake, points a finger at the mountains, and volcanoes erupt." Psalms 144 verses 5 says, "Part of your heavens, O Lord, and your come down, touch the mountains so that they smoke." Now it's time to make your own 3D volcano. So what we're gonna do now, so you guys ready? Because I'm ready. We're gonna be making baking soda and vinegar volcano. And you also have another website that you probably already, you can take a look at it. Let's go and make it. And let's have fun. Now it's time to make our volcano, our homemade volcano erupt. This is a very super simple baking soda and vinegar volcano recipe. This is our ingredients. And before we go about ingredients, I'm gonna let you something, because the breakup that we're passing right now, some of you probably don't have a backyard. But if you do, it's a beautiful day today, so I thought it would be great to go outdoors since we haven't been out. So if you guys have a sandbox at home in your backyard, you can do it. I picked that one. I don't have a sandbox, but it's a 5 minutes walking little park, and it's in the nature. Nobody's around me, and I'm right here with you guys. So there's a sand. There's a sand, so I want to do the sand volcano. If you don't have sand, you can do it with dirt. You guys can use a plastic bag on your table, place a plastic bag on your table, or a baking sheet, and just, you're gonna make the volcano there, because we don't want to make a mess, okay? So this is how we're gonna make the homemade volcano erupt. So this is our ingredients. Once again, we have the water, the baking soda, the detergent soap. It can be any kind, and we're gonna need a cup. Sorry, that gets very dirty. We're gonna need a plastic cup or any kind of cup. We're gonna need a tablespoons. I use this little glass to mix it. I don't have a washable paint, but I use the food coloring. This is very concentrated, so what I did is I just diluted with water. And our final ingredient is vinegar. Okay, so let's start. You guys ready? I'm ready. I'm so excited. So what we're gonna do first is we're gonna use our water. So we're gonna use 2 to 3 full ounces, or okay, so our water. So let's do the water, okay? It says 2/3 cups of water. So let's do it. So see right there in the black. So we're gonna pour it into our into our plastic cup. Now I decided to use this kind of the baking soda. So how many it says we need to use? 3 to 4 tablespoons, okay? So you guys gonna help me to count. So it's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, perfect. Oh look, I found a little stick. It's wonderful. You guys can use a plastic spoon or stick. So we're gonna mix it up, and we're gonna put 1 tablespoon of dish soap, okay? So you guys ready? All right, so we're gonna pour it on the mix. and we're gonna add it into the mix. And remember, now our next ingredient is we're gonna use half a cup or half an ounce and 2 ounces or coloring or food coloring, okay? Washable paint. So I'm gonna use the food coloring. All right, it's right here. Now, so I use 2 ounces and we're gonna pour it, okay? Okay, so we're gonna mix it up with the stick that I found. This is a really good stick. Look at that, take a look at that. Oh, it's gonna be wonderful. So while our mix, we're gonna put it on the side. Now we're gonna do the amount of sand to make a volcano, okay? So let's make a amount of sand, okay? So this is what I was doing before, trying to do it up. You guys can do it. This is gonna be, you guys can do it with dirt as well, okay? All right, so after we finish, now we're gonna put our cup, our mix inside of the dirt or the pebble or the sand, okay? So I have everything ready. Remember, the last ingredient is we're gonna use vinegar. Okay, so the vinegar we're gonna use, how much vinegar we're gonna use? Oh, okay, so we're gonna use 8 ounces of vinegar. So we're gonna pour the vinegar in a cup here, okay? So I have everything ready here. You can follow me over here. So we have our mix already. So this is our mix, and we already made the volcano. So we're gonna be adding that vinegar to our mix. Are you guys ready? Take a look at this. Watch the fun part. Look at that. See, the freezing and fronting as the bicarbonate and soda and vinegar react together. So here it comes. Look at that. So that's how a volcano erupts. So this says there are 500 active volcanoes on Earth right now. See, the erupting called magma is called lava. So what you're seeing is the lava. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a little bit coloring. If you can add it so it can be red. And we can mix it up. Look at that. So remember, the freezing and the fronting is because the bicarbonate and soda are reacting together. So that's, thank you for watching.